No doubt we've all contributed to this over the last few weeks, but dairy consumption in the U.S. is hitting near record peaks. Corey, we haven't seen numbers like this in quite some time.
Yes, dairy product consumption is the highest since 1959. Dwight D. Eisenhower was president back in those days.
And you have a new report. Corey is lead dairy economist for CoBank. Forgot to introduce you because I was so excited to talk about cheese. But what is leading to this? Why are we consuming more? Why are we producing more?
There's a number of reasons. About 60% of cheese actually goes into restaurants. And so we eat a lot of cheese in restaurants and prepared food, and this time of year too, charcuterie boards as well.
Yes. And when we look at exports, that's the other half of this story, because you say that even as recent as the 90s, we were kind of a non-player?
Yes, our U.S. dairy industry, even in the early 1990s, we produced dairy products for our consumers at home. Then the world began to change with NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Agreement.
And talk about how that has then shaped what we're doing and where our cheese is going, because we might be surprised to find that a lot of it's staying pretty close to us in North America.
Pretty close, yes, on this continent. So we started producing more cheese, and our best customer is our neighbor to the south, Mexico. And in fact, 1 in 4 dairy products these days are going south of the border. The big dairy products are non-fat dry milk, skim milk powder, and cheese. This year we're on pace. Mexico is going to buy 37% of our cheese exports. That's a big number.
That is incredible. I know Wisconsin, we always talk about the numbers that 90% of our milk goes into cheese. 90% of that leaves our state. Is it leaving our borders too? Is cheese also heading overseas?
Yes, cheese is leaving our borders. And one of the biggest, quickest growing categories is Hispanic style cheeses. Okay. It's a fresher cheese, and it fits some of the cultural traditions of people that live in Mexico.
Let's talk about some of the things that could either keep this trend going or change them. You talked about a change in administration and a change in priorities. What are some of the things that could affect this?
Well, the USMCA is the new NAFTA, the United States-Mexico Trade Agreement, and that has really grown dairy trade between the U.S. and Mexico. And an amazing thing in Mexico, they're actually growing their milk production. It's grown 50 pounds per capita. That means Mexican dairy farmers are producing 50 pounds more milk per person, but that's not even growing fast enough to provide nutritious dairy products for consumers. Certainly, we've heard the word trade on the campaign trail, tariffs on the campaign trail. And if we do have tariffs that get put in place, that would stymie some trade flow, but we'll see what happens as the new year turns. And
you mentioned there are some other countries around the world that are sort of tapped out when it comes to production, whether it's due to certain emission requirements or land base.
The 3 largest exporters in the world of dairy products in this order are the European Union, New Zealand, and the United States. We're a very strong third. But climate change, methane mitigation, carbon dioxide, and carbon credits are some things that are really issues in the European Union. And then New Zealand is a great dairy region. It's the size of Mexico and Wisconsin put together, but you put 6 million cows and 6 million people in that space, you can only grow so much, right? So these days we have $8 billion dollars of investment in dairy processing plants, and half of that's in cheese.
That's incredible. Corey, when we look at our domestic consumption, we mentioned at the beginning of our segment that it is nearing record. Do we see that trend continuing? Are Americans hungry for more?
Yes, the short answer is yes. Big areas, we do see a lot of growth in cheese. Half of that investment, half of that $8 billion is in cheese facilities, and when you make cheese, you get whey. And dairy proteins are at the highest price right now, and the reason that consumer demand is out there, we have a lot of the weight loss drugs that are out there, and if you're on those, you need to consume very high quality proteins. And the dairy whey, the amino acids found in protein, are as good as we know in humanity. And so that's a big growth area, not only in the U.S., but around the world.
Well, Corey has done incredible research on this topic. You're going to want to head over to CoBank's area of their knowledge nooks to find out much more about his report. We'll link you right to that full report. Corey, thank you for always bringing us a new perspective and encouraging us that dairy has a very bright future.
Thank you, Malene.